Hi everyone. So welcome to CSAT PYQ. My name is Abhilasha and I'll be taking you through some questions based on reading comprehension. So without further ado, let's get started. I hope you've already shared this session. If you haven't, please share it with your friends and other colleagues who are planning to prepare. Also hit the like button so that, of course, we'll get your likes. And remember to subscribe so you can participate in the chat also. So remember to hit share, subscribe, and like. All right, let's get started. This is CSAT RC's part 1. Okay, so here's the first question. Here's your passage. In India, the segregation of municipal waste at source is rare. Recycling is mostly with the informal sector. More than three-fourths of the municipal budget goes into collection and transportation, which leaves very little for processing, resource recovery, and disposal. Where does the waste to energy fit into all this? Ideally, it fits in the chain after segregation. So you take the waste, create energy between waste and the rest, collection, recycling, and before getting to the landfill. Which technology is most appropriate in converting waste to energy depends on what is in the waste. That is biodegradable versus non biodegradable component and its calorific value. The biodegradable component of India's municipal solid waste is a little over 50%, and biomethanation offers a major solution for processing this. Guys, please understand that whenever we are doing reading comprehension for CSAT, the passages are very small and the questions are generally very tricky. So what you should do is you should read the passage, read the question, and then go back into the passage and check. So, for example, here the first question says the following assumptions have been made. Collection, processing, and segregation of municipal waste should be with government agencies, and resource recovery and recycling require technological inputs that can be best handled by private sector enterprises. Now, if you look at the passage does not speak about government agencies at all and whether something should be with them. Neither does the passage talk about private sector enterprises and what should be with them. So then can we really assume one or two? No. So not one, not two. The correct answer will be D, neither one nor two. Okay. I hope you got that. I'll take you to the next question. Now you take a minute, read the question, and then we will discuss it. All right. So the same passage, again, one more question based on that. It says, which of the following best reflects the crux of the passage? So what is it that the passage is talking about? Now we've spoken about segregation of municipal waste at source being rare. Okay, so let's take a look. Then it says recycling is mostly in the informal sector. What are you doing with the segregation of waste and how it is taken forward? So let's take a look at our options. Option A says generation of waste from municipal solid waste is inexpensive. But the pricing was not the crux of the passage, so not A. Biomethanation is the most ideal way of generating energy from municipal solid waste. Again, biomethanation was just very last part of the passage. So was it really the crux of the passage? No. Segregation of municipal waste is the first step in ensuring the success of waste to energy plant. So if you actually do it well, if you do the segregation well, you will be able to make the waste to energy plants a success. So that is what this passage was talking about. The biodegradable component of India's municipal solid waste is not adequate to provide energy from waste effectively or efficiently. Well, the passage did not really take a call on whether it is efficient or inefficient. So therefore, not D. Best answer here will be option number C. All right, let's take a moment and read the second passage and try and solve this one. Okay. So it says there is a claim that organic farming is inherently safer and healthier. Okay. The reality is, okay, so the minute you see the reality, now it might be something different. is that because the organic farming is still young and not well regulated, farmers and consumers alike are not only confused about what products are best for them, but sometimes use products in harmful ways also. So they don't know what to use, and also the products could harm them. For example, since organic fertilizers are difficult to obtain on a large scale in India, farmers often use farmyard manure, which may have toxic chemicals and heavy metal, so it may be very harmful. Certain plant sprays such as Dhatura flower and leaf spray have an element called atropine. Now, if it is not applied in the right dose, it can act on the nervous system of the consumer. Now, how much and when to use are not well researched or regulated. So, therefore, there are problems in the use of organic farming. So, this passage talks about organic farming, right, and talks about its that it could be harmful, right? It could be harmful. They're not saying it is definitely harmful, but they're saying it could be harmful. Now, based on the above passage, the following assumptions have been made. Organic farming is inherently unsafe for both farmers and consumers. We don't know if it is inherently unsafe because we don't know how to use it. It may be unsafe, but is it inherently unsafe? Not really. So one is not the correct answer. Let's look at two. Farmers and consumers need to be educated about eco-friendly food. Well, yes, they need to be educated so that they can actually use it properly. So the correct answer here will be B and not as in 2 and not 1. So correct answer option number B. All right, let's look at the next one. So, which one of the following best reflects the most logical, rational, and practical message conveyed by the author of the passage? So, what are you trying to say here? Okay. In India, organic farming should not be promoted as a substitute for conventional farming. But did the author talk about conventional farming at all? No. So, therefore, one is not a very good choice. Let's look at B. There are no safe organic alternatives to chemical fertilizers. Very extreme options, so not really the correct answer. In India, farmers need to be guided and helped to make their organic farming sustainable. Yes, C is the correct answer. We have said that since they don't know much, therefore they need to be taught. The aim of organic farming should not be to generate huge profits, but we don't know what the aim should be. As in that, it's not definitely why not profit. So D is irrelevant here. So the best answer will be option number C. Okay. All right. Let's look at the fifth one. Now, this is a separate passage, a third passage for us. So let's read it and then try and solve it. It says food consumption patterns have changed substantially in India over the past few decades. This has resulted in disappearance of many nutritious food, such as millets. While food grain production has increased over 5 times since independence, it has not sufficiently addressed the issue of malnutrition. So we are giving food, but it is not very nourishing. For long, the agriculture sector focused on increasing food production, particularly staples, which led to lower production and consumption of indigenous traditional crops, grains, fruits, and other vegetables, impacting food and nutrition security in the process. Further, intensive monoculture agricultural practices can perpetuate the food and nutrition security problem by degrading the quality of land, water, and food derived through them. All right. So, what are the assumptions that have been made and which of these will be correct? So, the first assumption says to implement the sustainable development goal and achieve zero hunger, monoculture agricultural practices are inevitable, even if they do not address malnutrition. We don't know this. The passage does not talk about SDG also, so therefore irrelevant for us. Let's look at option 2. Dependence on a few crops has negative consequences for human health and ecosystem. Well, yes, the passage has spoken about monoculture, so therefore 2 is something that we can assume to be true. Government policies regarding food planning need to incorporate nutritional security. Yes, because we are not talking about this, so therefore 3 definitely. Look at 4. For the present monoculture agricultural practice, farmers receive subsidies and government offers remunerative prices for grains, and therefore they do not tend to consider crop diversity. Now, this is something again was not mentioned or not hinted at also. So therefore 4 doesn't work. So what will work for us as options is option number 2 and 3. So therefore the correct answer will be B, 2 and 3 only. Okay. All right, guys. If you have any questions for me, remember you can always put in the answers or put in your queries into the chat box at any point of time. You can always do that. Okay. All right. So we'll wrap up this session. Thank you so much. I hope this session was helpful, and I will see you again. Again, thank you. Remember to hit like, share, and subscribe. My name is Abhilasha, and I'll see you around.